Once you get both doses of the vaccine, you could be itching to get back to normal again. But right now, is that what you should do? Our Sydney Stalwart spoke with the Alabama Department of Public Health and an infectious disease expert to hear what you should keep in mind after getting the vaccine, as we're at a tipping point in our fight against COVID-19.
Once you get both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, is it okay for you to go back to the way you lived life before the pandemic? Is it safe for you to go to large gatherings or even be around others without a mask on? Experts say no.
We have not reached that stage yet. We're going to need to continue with all the prevention methods we can do.
Dr. Ali Hassoun, an infectious disease expert with Huntsville Hospital, says he knows this might confuse some people.
I know a lot of people saying, then why did we get vaccinated? The idea from the vaccination is we want to reduce transmission.
I spoke with Dr. Karen Landers, who says even after you finish your vaccine shot series, keep wearing your mask and social distancing.
When you take your first dose, you're not protected against COVID-19. And when you take your second dose, it's going to be at least 2 weeks after that second dose before the body has the opportunity to have a full immune response.
Is it safe to travel once you're vaccinated?
If we able to have significant number of vaccinated people, less cases, more reported immunity, then that's the time to think about possibility of travel. So at the moment, it's only essential, something you're gonna need to do it.
Some are forming vaccine bubbles and gathering with others who've completed their vaccines without masks.
The worry is, while we're having this transmission, even though you're vaccinated, you might be shedding the virus or, don't have symptoms, but you can transmit it to others.
Putting the Valley first, Sydney Stallworth, WZDX News.